they have added a ton of parts on this car. Hey guys, FRS guy here. Today we're going to talk about the Subaru STI S209. This is kind of cool. It's kind of exciting today. New car just came out. We just got ours. I do work at a dealership. We just got ours. This car is cool. They have added a ton of stuff. This is a car you have to look at. It just appears to be, you know, an STI with maybe a couple mods to it, which it kind of is, but they have done a lot of stuff to this car. They just didn't gloss it over. They've done a lot of work to make this car as good as they could for still basically a mass produced car. This is just a special version of it. Okay, let's start off. Let's get to the specs of the car. This is a 2019, even though it's 2020, 2019 STI S209. So it's got 341 horsepower, 330 foot-pounds of torque. It weighs around 3485 and is going to have a top speed of 162. They're saying the quarter mile time is roughly the same, 13.4. I'm giving it an estimate of 13 flat and 0 to 60 about 4.5. On the skid pad, they're saying 1.0 to 1.08 on the skid pad. Again, 209, so they're only making 209 of these cars, 128 in Rally Blue, and 81 in Crystal White. Next, we're going to do an overview of the exterior, and one of the first things you're going to notice is this great looking spoiler. I love the spoiler. It looks excellent. It's carbon fiber. It has two settings. The first setting is for 42 pounds of downforce at 75 miles an hour. Or the second setting is for 60 pounds of downforce at 60 miles an hour. Next is a carbon fiber roof with an excellent looking shark fin. Again, for lighter weight. And you have a carbon fiber front splitter. In this case, we don't have the splitter on yet. It was still in the trunk. All the body mods combined for 30% less lift on the vehicle. So you have things like the front carbon fiber spoiler, all working vents on the vehicle, the rear vents, front vents, and you have side skirts. You also have a 2-inch wide body kit to help conceal the 19 by 9 inch wheels with 265 Sport Max tires. Alright, next we're going to get into the engine, the performance. So again, 341 horsepower, 330 foot-pounds of torque. Not only is the peak higher, the power band is much broader also. So making power right from 3600 RPM. So increased power throughout the band and more of it. They do a bunch of stuff. So again, this isn't just a normal car off the line. They've done a lot of modifications to it. You can already see all the little things that they've done. And the engine, again, these engines are hand built by STI. So the tolerances are stricter, and I know they've balanced them for higher RPM, things like that. But not a lot of details. We don't know if the connecting rods or pistons are any different. Doesn't sound like it yet. We do know that they've changed the exhaust valves, sodium-filled exhaust valves with stronger valve springs. That we know for sure. The turbo is larger, slightly larger, 5 or 10% larger, so a larger turbocharger on it. More efficient air filter, 20% larger injectors, and 20% more fuel flow from the fuel pump. So larger fuel pump, injectors, turbo and more efficient intake. They're also running the turbo at higher boost, just under 19 psi, 18.9 psi instead of 16 psi. And your intercooler has added water injection that is controlled by paddle shifters on the steering wheel to help cool the intake charge during acceleration. And there's a 3.7 tank in the trunk. I couldn't find that. I think it's underneath the panels, but we didn't want to pull the whole car apart. So that's in there. You have a lighter flywheel and a stronger clutch. It also has better flowing mufflers that reduce back pressure by 17%. And your fuel mapping is also different. So not only do you have larger turbo and injectors and things like that, your mapping itself is also more aggressive. And on a side note, they're using, for you Subaru guys, so this is 340 horsepower at the crank motor, so about 300 horsepower at the wheels probably. They're running a 5W40 oil. So yes, 0-20 is probably good for drag racing, but for endurance, circle track, track days, things like that, we really need to be running either a 30 or 40 weight oil in boosted cars. Alright, now on to suspension. They've also done a ton of stuff with suspension. They've added strut braces to both the front and strut braces to the rear. They've also added these tension bars to help stiffen up things. They've done a lot of things to take the slack out of the suspension. They've added these tension bars. They've removed some of the rubber bushings and put in Heim joints in the suspension. I didn't get pictures of that, so I don't have pictures of everything. I didn't catch that on the car. You have STI tuned Bilstein shocks with stiffer springs. I did talk to the guy who went to the gas station and he said it definitely rides stiffer than his STI. So it's definitely stiffer than your normal STI. It's more of a performance car. Again, you're going to have less slop in the suspension, which makes it also feel stiffer because those rubber bushings soften the road, but they don't transfer traction. That's why you have to get rid of those rubber bushings to stiffen it up. That's what the white lines are for, things like that. So they've done some of the white lined mods already for you on this car. And of course, we already talked about it. You're also getting the half-inch wider wheel, so a 19 by 9 inch wheel with the massive 265 inch wheel tires. Those are pretty big tires, 265 Sport Max tires. That's why they also went to the wide body to help conceal those tires within the body. Next, we're going to be talking about the braking system. They haven't done a ton of stuff to the brakes. They felt the braking system was pretty good already. But here's what they did do. You do have the Brembo brake calipers, 6 piston calipers in the front and 2 piston calipers in the rear. You do have cross-drilled rotors, so for more heat dissipation and a little bit lighter weight. And they also added higher friction brake pads. So you have the Brembo calipers, better pads, and cross-drilled rotors for the braking system. Alright, and finally we're going to talk about the interior. They haven't changed a whole lot on the interior. One of these reasons is for lightweight, but you are going to get the better seats. You are going to get the better seats, the Recaro seats. You have a better steering wheel. You're going to have the water injection paddles, but you have the standard display. You don't even have navigation. They wanted to stay with the lighter unit. So you have the 7 or 7.5 inch display. So you have the smaller display. You don't have navigation, so more of a basic system, but that's again to save on weight. So the interior is not much changed. The color is different. You have the Recaro seats. You are going to have the badging. That S209 badging is everywhere on this car. They have it in the center console, the door sills, both front and rear. So they do a nice job of badging on this car, all the way around. So the interior is decent, but that's more standard STI. Not a ton of changes on the inside. But again, a lot of that is to they don't want to add too much weight. They don't want to, this is more performance cars, so they're trying to add as much as they can in performance. So there was a little bit of weight gain, but those are performance things because you do have bigger calipers, you do have bigger tires and wheels, you do have some added things. You have the bigger turbocharger, so some of these little things have added weight. They've done some things to reduce weight, like using carbon fiber and sticking to the basic radio in the vehicle. So some of those things are reducing weight, but some of the things add weight, so there's a net difference of about 90 pounds. And overall, so that's about it for the interior. Alright, so in summary, I like this car. I really like it. It's a lot more, you're getting a lot more than you think you would. It's not just some badging thrown on a car and jacking the price up. You're getting a lot in this car. Engine, suspension, bodywork, aero. They've done a lot of work to this car. It is a little pricey, but if you want the ultimate STI, might be worth it. They do a lot of the work for you, and you have a better base, a better platform to build off of. I think a lot of your suspension is done for you, and a little bit of the engine stuff is done for you. So some more tuning and some flex fuel. This could be a pretty decent car, just the way it sits. But yeah, overall a real nice package. I think they've actually done more than I thought they were going to do. So I really like this car. I do work at Subaru. I do own a Subaru, half a Subaru. So I like them. I like the Boxer engine. I love the sound. You can't beat a Boxer. You have a 4-cylinder. Boxer is one of the best sounding engines out there. V8's got to be number one. You know, everybody loves the V8. It's probably the best sounding engine. You have a Harley, the V-twin sound, a Ducati, and then you have the Boxer. It's one of those unique sounds. These Subarus sound cool. It's a neat design. This is a nice car. They've done a lot to it. It's expensive. If you can't afford it, you should still come out and check it out. There's only 200 of them, 209 of those in the country. So it wouldn't be a bad, it'd actually be a good idea for a cruise day. Get together with your Subaru buddies, come on out, check them out. It's a neat car. Walk around it, check it out, things like that. They're fun. I would think that maybe some of these parts are going to be available through Subaru for aftermarket for WRXs and STIs. So maybe some of these components you'll be able to buy through Subaru without getting the whole car. So maybe that might be part of the car. I know this is at the end of the body style. So we're getting a new car probably next summer. Okay. The 2022 is going to come out, but it'll probably come out in 21, probably in the summer. So this is probably the last hurrah for this car. But some of the parts might be available, so that might be something to think about. But yeah, definitely sounds like a good idea for a cruise day. Find one in your area, get together, cruise out, check it out, hang out, car talk, stuff like that. We have cars to drive them, so you have to have a reason to drive and a reason to go somewhere to make your cruise more fun. If you have a reason to do something, then it's definitely more fun instead of just blindly driving around. But yeah, that's it. That's the S209. I don't know if I hit all the details. I think, again, this is the overall of the car we have. I was looking at it, and as I was looking at it, man, there's a lot of stuff on this car, so I kind of decided to do a video on it. That's it. FRS guy. If you like this stuff, subscribe, like, and share. Hope you liked the video. If I messed up anything, leave comments down below and tell me what you think.